Hi guys, welcome to today's session, and today we are going to discuss about the National Green Tribunal, or otherwise called as NGT. And in this session we'll first see an introduction about National Green Tribunal, then we'll discuss the importance of NGT, and then we'll discuss the criticism of NGT, and finally we will discuss few way forward measures for the better working of National Green Tribunal. So that's how I planned this lesson. Let's now start. So NGT has been established in 2010 under National Green Tribunal Act 2010, and it draws inspiration from our constitutional provision of Article 21, which assures the citizens of India the right to a healthy environment. And it aims for effective and expeditious disposal of cases relating to environmental protection and conservation of forest and other natural resources, including enforcement of any legal right relating to environment. And also it gives relief and compensation for damages to persons and property, and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto. So it has original jurisdiction on matters of substantial questions relating to environment and damage to the environment due to specific activities such as pollution, and also it follows principles of natural justice. So that is the very basic thing, or very basic definition of National Green Tribunal. Now we'll see what are the importance of NGT. So guys, India is one of only a few countries to have a specialized environmental court system, and the advantages of having an NGT is that such a system permits direct access to environmental justice, and NGT allows for more relevant and greater expertise. It sets up alternate dispute resolution mechanisms and offers a path for evolution of environmental jurisprudence. And the track record of NGT suggests that it can produce results. Today, there is a fear among industry and environment regulators that some action would be taken if a case is heard by NGT. And it provided a new dimension to environmental adjudication by curtailing delays and imparting objectivity, and also to achieve the objective of Article 21, 47 and 51A(g) of Constitution of India by means of fair, fast and satisfactory judicial procedure. And also another importance is that it reduced the pressure and burden on high courts and the Supreme Court. So these are the importance or advantages of NGT. And now we will see there are a few criticism against National Green Tribunal. What are those? Disadvantages are that it possibly takes away from mainstream jurisdictions, and transfers to and from the mainstream courts could become complicated. And like the recent event on Yamuna floodplains, this saw rampant clearing of vegetation cover and construction, but NGT, instead of taking stringent action, just imposed a fine for the event and could do little to prevent the spoiling of this fragile ecosystem. So there is a criticism that the punishments from NGT side is very less. And another criticism is that access to justice is denied by two means in NGT. Firstly, by the provision of limitation period, and secondly, by virtue of NGT being located in only big cities spread across India. So a green tribunal should have been based in a place that has the highest forest cover or large mineral deposit. For example, a tribal trying to stop pollution from an iron ore mine in Bastar, this means filing and fighting a case in Bhopal. So this is neither easy nor affordable for a tribal. And also NGT has been accused of overstepping its jurisdiction and taking actions for which it has not been empowered under the NGT Act. And also NGT's critics have also questioned the lack of environmental finesse of its expert members. Usually the expert members are experts of one particular field and not of environment as a whole. So for instance, an expert member who has been working on forest for many years would not be able to comprehend the issues arising out of industrial pollution. And conflicts are brewing between NGT and high courts. As per NGT Act, appeals from NGT can only go to Supreme Court, thus bypassing the high courts, though that conflict is there. And Backlog of cases in NGT as another reason for institutions' failure to address environmental matters, and also, despite the prompt steps taken by them, there has been little change in the ever rising pollution levels. So, that are the few criticism against National Green Tribunal, and we'll discuss few way forward measures. So, we'll see what is that. For the effective functioning of NGT, we must strengthen it by giving it more powers, by investing in strengthening its infrastructure. Judicial review is an important power that must be given to NGT, and also we should include other environment related laws within NGT's ambit. And it also needs to put certain systems in place for transparent decision making. NGT needs to establish principles and criteria to estimate fines, damages, and compensation. It should also identify institutions and experts who can help it to scientifically estimate environmental damages, compensation, fines on a case to case basis. NGT must put internal checks and balances for efficient and transparent delivery of justice. And suo motu jurisdiction has to be an integral feature of NGT for better and effective functioning, and there is a need for central and state governments to work in collaboration with the NGT for an effective outcome. So these are the measures which can be adopted for the effective working of NGT in future. So that's all about the National Green Tribunal, guys. We'll see with another topic tomorrow. Thank you for watching this lesson.